Hello, everybody. This is the first episode of the Small World podcast. I am Gio, the Tank Boy, proprietor, goodly host of this channel, and with me is
The real Slim Shady.
the Drek, the real Drek Shady.
The real Drek Shady.
Introduce yourself, man. Come on.
Well, no. Before I introduce myself, can I just say that's the first time I heard the title of the podcast,
What?
and it's a small world after all.
Yeah, it is, man.
Are
It's
we gonna
the Small World
is that,
podcast.
Will that be the jingle?
It's the Small World podcast. That could be the jingle.
And then I quit right now. I'm trying to resign. That's it for me. GG.
It's not going to be the jingle. This has no jingle.
Oh, good.
We're not a supermarket.
I can hear Disney's lawyers on the march.
Yeah, they're coming. I see the pitchforks from a mile away, man.
Oh Lord.
So come on, tell the good people who you are.
I'm Drek. I'm 24 years old. I've been sober for 16 years. No, I'm joking. It's not much to say, you know. I'm just here. I have a passion for talking. I have a passion for listening. I have a passion for, making fun of this little idiot here.
And I have a passion for this big idiot right here.
Big idiot. Yeah. I'm very honored to have been invited to your first episode of this podcast.
And it's very good to have you, sir.
Thank you. And, I guess, what do I have a passion for? I like gaming. I like reading. I like various other activities.
Many of them things that I'm quite passionate about as well.
Exactly. So I think we'll be a good fit. I think we'll be a good team.
I'd say the best fit because we are also best friends.
Oh,
and have been for a very long time. Yes,
Yes,
son. We have been.
Yes, since kindergarten.
Yep.
Yeah. No, well, maybe grade 1.
Grade 1, grade 2, basically.
Something like that. Somewhere
That's
around
when we
there.
really kind of got our starts.
Well, yeah.
But yes, today is November 20th, 2018.
Are we really? My cake expires tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's probably what flavor is that cake?
There's a double chocolate cake.
Okay, because tomorrow it's going to be mold flavored.
Ah,
If it's expiring.
I see. That's
But yeah, we're going to be in for a double fudge swirl of delicious news topics.
oh
We're gonna
god.
be cutting right into, and
That was a double.
that was the
You
double.
just did a double.
Yep.
You disappoint me.
Aw. but it is going to be a delicious podcast for all of us. Hopefully, kind to your ears, and not too preachy.
It's like ASMR, but with actual topics
Yeah.
instead of just a hot, barely legal girl.
Yeah, and we're gonna get this, and we're gonna get some ginger ale, nice fizzy ginger ale right here.
All right.
Ah, yeah, just slurp up that news. Just slurp it right into. Just put it in. Just put it in a nice little plunger right here. Just take the plunger on this needle and just suck it right up, and just inject it right in my veins. Just right there. Just put it right in there. Oh, I love the news. So.
Have I ever mentioned that I'm very concerned for your mental well-being?
Oh yeah, I'm guaranteed.
Very concerned,
Yes.
But it's all right anyway.
But I am concerned. I am more concerned on the path that the world is going in. I'm more concerned about the events of
agree.
everyone else's
I can agree.
the sanity and I'm more concerned with the sanity of the world, really, as it is right now. The state of it, the state of things.
The world made me what I am.
Yes, the small little world molded me into the big man that you hear before you. And the two big men that you hear before you were molded by this world.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
So, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about myself, because seeing as how this is the first thing I'm recording, really, for the channel.
Yeah.
Veils aside, the curtains drawn on this channel, really. This is the first episode of the podcast, and literally the first thing I'm recording for the Tank Base channel as it is. So what you see before you, what you see before this, is all post episode.
So I get to be
So
be a part
this
of,
is the opening. This is us cracking right into it. So
I get to be a part of 2 failures.
hopefully,
amazing.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
The
so
failure,
honored.
the failure of this podcast and the channel as it stands, if it even stands anymore, it's gonna fall to its knees and crumble.
Don't worry, you made a wise choice inviting me. My charisma alone will bring in the crowd in droves.
Yes, definitely. This is why I need you here. Is for your bravado,
No.
so everyone can stroke your ego more than it already has been
So
stroked.
no, but Mr. Gio,
Mr. Drek, sir.
Mr. Gio, as your in-house therapist, please tell me about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Myself. Well, I have a degree from Yale. I survived the Black Plague. I've watched The Exorcist 157 times,
57.
and it keeps getting bloodier every time I watch it. And I am as well 24 years old. I used to go to a very prestigious college in the Montreal area. We are Montreal, Quebec Canadian. And
Never heard that before.
yeah, right.
Montreal, Quebec Canadians.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
And I'm a huge nerd. I loved comic books back when I was a wee lad.
What a fucking nerd!
Right. I like to play the video games.
Oh shit, Sean.
And I like music a shit ton, and mostly heavy metal, punk rock, so music of that sort. So yeah, I am pretty whacked out in the mental when it comes to tastes in all kinds of art and culture. And this is one of the reasons. Yeah, I can do that. I am allowed. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to start this podcast, is so I can actually voice some of these, opinions that I have, because constantly I feel like they are, dulled down, being, held captive in my bony prison that I call a skull. And I wanna just kind of share some of these feelings that I have with you on the history and the current goings on of this planet. So
You say you're from Yale?
yeah, I went to Yale one time, bro.
Yale.
Yeah,
What did you study in Yale?
I studied the making of ale in Yale.
The making of ale in Yale?
The making of ale in Yale.
Well, that's amazing.
Right?
Who was your teacher?
Saul Whiskeyman.
Oh. I'm very disappointed. I thought it would be something along the lines of Bale.
Christian Bale
Bale
taught me how to make ale in Yale. Nice! We got it. So, I guess, okay, considering
But what
we're
about the
talking
Black
about
Plague?
booze, the Black Plague?
Yeah.
Oh, the Black Plague was...
that's back.
It was a terrible time for the booze, because nobody was being alive, living long enough to drink them, because nobody was of the age of consent.
That's very disappointing.
I know,
It's back, huh?
The Black Plague?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madagascar. Home of every, horrible disease known to man.
Yeah, in the setting of those 2 terrible Madagascar movies.
Only 2?
Yeah, the first one was fine. The first one was good.
The first one was fine because it had nothing to do with Madagascar?
It had no
Or did it?
it had
I don't
nothing
even
to
know.
live up to, really. It had
I
no
haven't watched
standards.
that.
It had no standards, so it just sort of did its own
Had
thing.
no standards. That's what
Everybody going back for the second and third one, they had something to look back on. So, considering that, yeah, we're on the topic of movies and stuff because I just mentioned Madagascar.
Yeah.
You want to start with movies?
Fuck it, why not?
Okay, because we're both huge movie buffs. We love to watch movies together. I watched several terrible flicks with you in the past.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. What was the last one? Not the last one we watched, but
the one before
Hound?
the last one.
the Hound.
Oh, the Rottweiler.
Rottweiler.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a
Yeah, I watched Rottweiler. Anybody that's familiar with my past work, because it's probably going to be brought up before this, but I do a YouTube channel with my good friend Merrick D'Amato. You can go see his stuff on Narwhal Entertainment. We do the Mindbreakers.
This is a shameless self-plugging.
No, not self-plugging. I'm plugging him. This is the least shit, like, this is the least selfish plug-in that I could give.
All right.
And also, you could check out my friend Maverick's channel. My good buddy Mike, he does video game chats and little talks to the camera about his concerns on the gaming culture and movies and comic books and whatnot. Also, geekdom. I'm friends with nerds. I work with all the nerds in the country in the country. Yeah, in the country of Canada's.
I see. In the Canadas?
Of the
country
Canadas.
of cannabis.
The country of cannabis, legalized Canadas.
Oh my lord.
And we like to talk about the gaming, and he really likes his stuff. I'm just gonna throw both of their channels in the description of this probably. Because
probably it depends on my mood.
Yeah. Well, Merrick's probably going to get a link dropped for his, because honestly, over at Narwhal is where I did most of my work, and anybody that's concerned about my previous work can just go right over there. And honestly, anything you really need to know about my personality has kind of been brought into question on his on either his Mindbreakers or any of any number of Let's Plays that we've done over there. So anytime I'm over there, some part of my psyche is being exposed live, so for all to see. So not just on this YouTube channel, but also on his is where I really shine brightly and boundlessly. But enough about me. I feel like that's kind of old hat, especially considering there's going to be things before this that are going to explain. I just like
how you know what? Maybe I'll give him a shout out in the description. It depends on my fancy. Do they please me enough?
Let me
get
my pocket watch. Is it that time of the day for a plug-in? Why, yes, it is. No, give me a fortnight, and I shall plug your channel. But no, I'm not going to talk about Fortnite because that game is garbage. We're going to talk about movies right now.
Yeah.
So you want to start with who's your favorite Batman villain?
Batman villain?
Yeah, Batman villain. Who's your favorite Batman villain?
Oh, see, I was assuming I'd be walking into this podcast with easy question, just easy ride.
Yeah.
But now you're gonna throw that at me.
Yeah, what's your favorite Batman villain, dude?
Batman villain, I gotta say. Now we're talking about movies, or are we talking about the animated series?
Any Batman villain that's been in movies.
In movies.
Yeah. Who's your favorite Batman villain that's been in a movie?
I like...
Or hasn't been in a movie. Who's your favorite Batman villain in general, I guess?
Question. Favorite Batman villain in general, if we're counting the animated series,
yes,
is Mark Hamill's Joker.
Okay.
I don't think anybody... There maybe have been a few I could probably side with, but in my opinion, there's none that have matched the performance of Mark Hamill's voice acting. Now, when it comes to not including the animated series or anything like that, and you just strictly stick in the movies, I gotta say the Riddler.
Oh yeah, Riddler's
Jim
definitely up
Riddler.
there. Yeah, especially Carrey's performance of the Riddler in Forever was probably one of my favorite interpretations of a Batman villain, and honestly, him as Joker would be a beautiful experience.
Would have been a beautiful experience.
It still would be.
I only see him doing more serious. Well, he got off the bandwagon for a while.
Yeah, and he's still probably not going to be doing any major comic book movies. The last one he did was Kick-Ass 2. And he openly declared that he didn't enjoy doing it. So he didn't enjoy the character he was playing, even though he probably
Riddler was his 90s persona basically.
Yeah, but he had very little to do with his character in the Kick-Ass in Kick-Ass 2.
Yeah.
He had very little connective tissue with that character, but he did portray him very well, and he was even barely recognizable underneath the facial makeup. If you look up if you look at Kick-Ass 2, his character in it, I think his name was
there he is, Colonel Stars and Stripes.
Colonel Stars and Stripes. That's what it was. I'm thinking
Stripes.
like Colonel America, or something super American, because he's basically Captain America. But yeah, Colonel Stars and Stripes. He's a former mafioso who turns vigilante.
Yeah.
And yeah, he basically he doesn't approve of swearing very much. He would rather not kill villains. He's like the opposite of the Punisher. He's kind of like the Punisher without minus the killing parts, and also former gangbang.
Minus the killing parts, minus all the fun.
Well, like he's basically taking the best parts of like what Captain America was, and kind of combining it with like what the Punisher does, and he's doing the Captain America thing in the Punisher way.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's like when Punisher becomes Captain America in one of the comics, because that actually does happen.
I cannot picture Captain America.
Frank Castle becomes the Captain America
puts
at
on
one
the
point.
blue tights.
Yeah,
Oh,
he becomes Captain America at some points, and he's literally like punching the hell out of bad guys, and all the guys in Shield are like, "Frank, what are you doing?" And he's like, "They need to be punished." So, like, take the way that the Punisher operates, like street level justice with like baseball bats and firearms.
Can you imagine the Punisher in Civil War?
Oh god, that would be beautiful. I would love a cut with just the Punisher just straight up. Like every now and again, just cutting to him, just
Who do you think the
blasting
Punisher would end up
someone.
siding with in the first place? Tony, who wants, like, you know, to
He'd
be
go
Helen
against
Jack,
Cap. He'd go against Cap.
Cap, eh?
Yeah, he'd join Tony basically just so he could kill Cap.
Dang.
That's how I feel it would work, you know? Either that or he'd join Cap just so he could be like underground, dark and broody, because they're all kind of the dark crew in that movie, because like you got Black Widow and everybody's with Cap. Like I think Black Panther's also on Cap's side.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like all of the darker ones, like all the Marvel Knights, kind of would gravitate easily towards Cap's side because he's the outlaw. Like Tony's like, hey, Tony's like, everybody needs to join this initiative, you know, and he's just like, fuck that. Punisher would go against Tony's rules because he'd just be like, no, I support my own law. Fuck you.
Basically, go up against Thanos, wouldn't even listen to all of his dribble.
He definitely would. But yeah. Let's get back onto the topic of like Batman villains. Let's go back on Batman villains. Because I would honestly say I like Ra's al Ghul a little bit.
Ra's al Ghul?
Yeah, I like Ra's al Ghul a little.
A little.
He's
a little nudge, just a little love.
His portrayal in Batman Begins I didn't really like very much, even though it was Liam Neeson. He was lacking an edge that he didn't really show entirely. Because I like the whole like
Liam Neeson missing edge.
Yeah, like he didn't exactly portray what I like in Ra's al Ghul, which is like the flamboyant kind of like cape flowy, like green jumpsuit Ra's al Ghul.
Huh.
I like the flashy green attire that he has because he reminds me of like the Mandarin kind of.
Listen here, Batman. I have a particular set of skills.
Yeah, and just kind of being like flashy about it, just being like, "Yeah, I'll do what you don't, Batman." Kind of like showing him up, basically being like, "When I hit them, they stay down." Like kind of like the Punisher and Daredevil, a little how they clash. But I also really like the Joker. Also, Joker's probably my favorite. Second would be Riddler.
When it comes to the movie,
but you already hit those two already. So.
Yeah, Joker gets like thrown around. You know, it's so many iterations of Joker, and some of them are really good, and some of them are really off, and it's so hard to choose.
Yeah.
But honestly, I have to say, if I had to choose my favorite movie Joker from what the movies I've seen, it's definitely hands down got to be Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get a new interpretation of the Joker coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix is gonna play the Joker in the Joker movie. And I'm bringing that up now because we're going to watch the trailer, and we're going to be right back with you. So yeah, you're going to get our unbridled, because a little teaser trailer dropped the other day, and we're going to watch that, and then we're going to be back with you. So yeah, just hold on 1 minute, folks.
I should laugh, but I cry, because your love has passed me by. You took me by surprise. I didn't realize that you were laughing.
So, we just watched it. Watched two of them actually. There were two trailers. One was just the subway one, and the other one was the one with him talking to the clown guy on Amusement Mile. So yeah, what do you think? Honest opinion.
It's unique.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never. I mean, other than official leaks of film production.
Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of what gives them the charm and the edge over other ones.
Is that it's I don't know, it's I've never personally seen anything done like that in the sense of, the trailer is basically a leak of film production. Mm-hmm. That's what official trailer is. So it kind of like confuses you. Like the first thing I'm looking at is like, well, the when he's talking to the fact, I was like, well, what the fuck are they talking about?
Well, yeah, you don't know
what's going on. Like, I'm assuming maybe he just quit the circus or whatever the heck thing he's a part of.
We don't even know if he's actually going to be part of the circus. He might just be some guy who lives on Amusement Mile and gets involved in all of the Clown Prince of Crime shenanigans.
I have no idea, but it's definitely interesting. Not something I'd probably suggest if you want, especially for people who are fans of the lore and want to.
Oh, this gives us little to nothing.
This gives basically nothing.
It does.
The subway trailer does.
Mm-hmm. It gives us a little more than nothing.
It's obviously just he's riling up the masses. You saw a sign saying kill the rich.
Kill the rich.
Kill the rich. So he's just basically riling up the masses with blatant, easy to make propaganda.
Yeah. Well, it's something that anybody can kind of grip onto, especially somebody that's probably living in a poverty-stricken area, like Amusement Mile kind of looks like. Very run down, very poor. very.
I just like this little
or
shuffle
dodgy.
in the amusement mile one where he rips off the nose and tosses it.
Mhm.
There's this little shuffle to go try and get it, and then you
Yeah.
see it on the floor, and he just deflects to the right anyway, just because he's got to get out of the
It's
shot.
filming. Yeah, it's filming.
It's funny. That's it. That's what I'm saying. It's interesting because you see that, and you see the little guy hiding behind the pillar.
Yeah,
Probably one of the film crew guys, and
yeah.
it's just kind of it's interesting to me
It really is.
because I don't know, but like for me, I don't know what they were trying to portray.
Hmm.
I don't know what they were trying to portray with this.
Well, we're not going to know until we actually see what it's going to be like. But if it's anything like what we're kind of seeing, it's going to be a darker, more like enigmatic interpretation of the Joker than we're used to. Really,
yeah,
it's.
I'm not sure how I feel about the way the Joker looks in this one.
Yeah, but it's going to be something to get used to.
Yeah.
At least at the beginning, because
I'll
this is
walk
going to be
in.
like origins. Really, it's
Yeah.
going to be the starting of something bigger. You know.
Yeah, I'll walk in with it with open mind. Like I'm not going to judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, and Joaquin
this
Phoenix
cover-
is going to be walking in with it too, with a pretty open way.
I mean, considering the cover is basically just
a clown.
It's
It's just clowns.
a generic clown.
Yeah.
That's what he's got on right now. He's
It's
a
just-
generic clown.
Yeah, I don't like clowns.
Heath Ledger's Heath Ledger. He had that really dark, edgy look. Then you had
Yeah,
the guys in the past who, let's just say like Jack Nicholson's Joker.
yeah, but he's dealing with Christian Bale. We had the old Heath version where he's literally dealing with this brutal like visceral Batman who's literally just going around in like bulletproof armor. Taking down
who's
criminals.
the Batman? Who's the? I forgot the guy's name already. The guy who plays Batman in Justice League.
Oh, in the Justice League one?
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. That's
Yeah.
the one. Do we know if Batman's making an appearance in the Joker movie?
He might. It might be it might be Affleck. We don't know.
I hope it's Affleck. I like
Yeah.
Affleck's Batman actually.
Because there's not that much really being shown aside from the small leaks that we're getting.
Yeah.
With the trailers, the teasers being shoved off to us. We're being kept in the dark, but I feel like that's the right way to go about it.
I just feel like we're getting hit by so many weird trailers and weird movies and weird concepts.
Oh, a lot.
Another one I can think of is that Detective Pikachu.
Oh, which one I was gonna get on next.
I can't. I've watched that 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Actually, I
You
wanted to
haven't
watch it for the
watched
first
it?
time right here. Nope.
Oh,
I know
Lord.
that's Ryan Reynolds. And
That's what threw me off the most.
That was the one thing that I know about this. And you know what? We're gonna watch this in a minute, but I want to kind of just backtrack a little bit more on Joker for a second. We're gonna be getting this weird version of the Joker, and it's gonna be, it's gonna be a little more. I feel a little more down to earth, and also
Yeah.
probably not going into his backstory all that much. I'm hoping we get very little on what his life really was, and maybe getting some alternate thoughts maybe on what could be, like, who could be the Joker. Maybe it's not even maybe it's not Joaquin's character. Maybe it's somebody else's the character who is in Joaquin's life. Maybe somebody kills Joaquin and takes his place. Who knows?
Well,
The real Joker can just walk right
out.
up.
When you said it's going to be a down to earth Joker, I couldn't agree more because, like I said earlier, the way they have him looking as a Joker, he basically looks like a regular run of the mill clown.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be on purpose.
Yeah, and that's one of the strongest parts of the Joker because he can blend. He can blend in that crowd.
But that's also the unique part of the Joker.
Yeah, and making just an entire area in this like the whole movie in this setting where it's all being taken place around this carnival district,
Right.
this amusement mile. It's kind of taking Gotham's like one area where Joker will usually take the toy factory or the or the old circus tents.
Yeah.
Those rundown areas from like the cartoons and the Arkham games where like he'll usually hide out.
Right.
It's taking that and making it a more realistic kind of area where people possibly live. Like making it more plausible that people probably do actually live here.
It could be that this version of Joker is going to be a very downtrodden character.
Oh, for
like
real.
A generic, from edge of the city, from the ghetto, from the hood or whatever.
Yeah.
He's having a hard time. He's a clown. He gets fired from being a clown.
Probably.
Because kids don't go to the fairs anymore or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
And then he ends up inciting the masses, the impoverished masses, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, it could be interpreted that way.
And then he starts gallivanting around as the Crown Prince of Crime, to basically fight back against the rich, kind of like a Joker Robin Hood. That's a little weird to think about, though.
Well, they say everybody's a hero in their own story, and maybe this is kind of his way of turning himself into his own version of a Robin Hood.
I don't think he'll be falling into a vat of anything this time.
Maybe, who knows? But that is a very comic booky thing that would happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, it being realistic and more down to earth, that would probably kind of take us out. It would make us. It would kind of be a watershed moment. I feel if that would happen. But if I think
it'd just be interesting to see Joker. It'd be interesting, but it would be very off-putting to see Joker put in more of a good guy light. It's kind of like they did with that one movie, Maleficent.
Oh yeah.
You watch the old Disney cartoon version, and she's blatantly, she seems like she's a horrible, a bad lady. She's a bad person. She's the evil person.
Yeah, but it's kind of easy for me to see Angelina Jolie as as like the villain in almost anything.
That's fair enough. But like in that movie, like in that modern where Angelina Jolie is Maleficent,
it's not too hard. It
shows the backstory. It shows Maleficent in a good light, and so it's like, it kind of makes you stop and think like, okay, well now maybe you need to stop for a second and think of, why is the bad person doing what they're doing?
Well, because they believe in what they do.
They believe in what
they're supposed to.
Well, you look at Hitler. Hitler thought he was doing. We're going balls deep into the sensitive ones now.
And this is only like the first.
This is the first episode. We're already on Hitler.
No, not even first topic. Just let's bring out Hitler.
Hitler and the Nazis did atrocious things. No one's arguing against that. But in their mind, in Hitler's mind, he thought he was doing what was right for Germany. Of course. And that's what makes you think.
But maybe this one's doing the right thing for Gotham.
That's what I'm saying.
And Joker, it could even possibly split off as him actually being a vigilante or something.
From the subway trailer, it could look like that. He's leading the poor masses, the downtrodden masses, again in a
full-on violent campaign.
In a campaign of sorts. We don't know if it's violent.
Well, we saw all of the clowns come out and start ground pounding people.
Did they really?
Yes. If you look in the back, there's people just straight up getting ground pounded on and pounced.
Well, okay, so I guess we can label it as a violent campaign.
But he's not doing any of it. His hands are completely...
No, he's the Crown Prince of Crime. Joker, in my opinion, is not meant to be someone who does the dirty work.
Definitely not.
But he's very good at manipulating others into doing the work, and then he kind of laughs about it.
He's a sociopath. So when we get into that, we'll probably get into it when the movie actually comes out. We'll probably backtrack onto that.
I'm definitely gonna go see it.
So we're gonna carry on. We're gonna go to the Detective Pikachu trailer.
Oh God, yeah.
And we'll be right back, guys.
Welcome to Rhyme City, a celebration of the harmony between humans and Pokemon.
Tim, your dad was a legend in this precinct. If you were anything like your dad...
I'm not.
I remember. You wanted to be a Pokemon trainer when you were young.
Yeah, that didn't really work out. Someone there? Whoever you are, I know how to use this.
Oh, jeez. Here we go. I know you can't understand me, but put down the stapler or I will electrocute you.
Did you just talk?
Whoa. Did you just understand me? Oh my God! You can understand me! Stop! I've been so lonely. They try to talk to me all the time. All they hear is pika pika.
You can hear him, right?
Pika Pika! Yeah, Pika Pika Pika, he's adorable.
You're adorable. They can't understand me, kid.
Can no one else hear him? I don't need a Pokemon, period.
And what about a world-class detective? Because if you want to find your pops, I'm your best bet. We're gonna do this, you and me. There's magic that brought us together, and that magic is called hope. Listen up. We got ways to make you talk. Or mime.
Yeah.
So tell us what we want to know. Pipe. Yes. Okay. I can. Shoving. Pushing. My problem is that I push people away and then hate them for leaving.
He's saying you can shove it.
What? I can shove it? Okay, that's it. No, we're switching roles. I'm bad cop. You're good cop.
No, we're not cops.
In my head, I saw that differently.
What a fucking roller
So
coaster.
So I haven't watched this yet before this now, and yeah, I'm glad I kept it for now because that actually was good. That got me. I'm glad that it's Ryan Reynolds. I'm very glad that we're getting Pikapool.
I'm not Pikapool. Oh,
Yeah,
Pikapool. Okay.
I'm glad we're getting
Took me a
Pikapool.
second. No, I think, you know, I started watching the trailer and it was like, welcome to Rhyme City, and my fucking stomach just started going. I'm
Yeah,
like,
because I was like,
this is not going to be good. This is going to be horrible. I was judging from the beginning. I said, this is not necessary. We didn't need this. I don't know if people necessarily wanted it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, new Pokemon
Setting's
movie.
strange.
Anything Pokemon is fun, I suppose, but live action Pokemon unsettles me for some reason.
Because in the past it hasn't been done well.
Yeah, well, you look at fucking at Mario when it went to fucking live action.
Yeah, it
But anyway,
rarely goes well.
But you know why I said, you know what?
Video game live
the
adaptation.
CG and stuff, like, it looks okay. I says, okay, let's watch the rest. And then it was Pikachu got up, you know, and I was like, oh, he looks adorable. And I said, this is going to be horrible. And then Ryan Reynolds starts speaking. And the first thing that was in my head was Ted. It's another Ted movie.
Nah.
And I said, as much as I love Ryan Reynolds, this is not Pokemon. This is the furthest thing from Pokemon.
It is Pokemon.
No,
Because
I don't think so. I think this is something.
But it's like them coexisting. It's like it's kind of like Zootopia, except there are people and then there are animals.
Yeah, but
and then the people and the animals, they don't talk to each other.
But it's a weird mix of Ted and Pokemon. That's not something that goes together.
Yeah.
You know, from the first games till, well, before this, it's always been Pikachu, you know, fucking, you know, they're basically animals. That's what they are.
Yeah.
They're animals with, like, crazy ass powers.
But it is about time that we get a version where at least one person can understand them. And and I'm glad that it's Pikachu because it's always like in the cartoon it was Meowth that got the voice.
Not Meowth. Oh yeah, Meowth it was.
Meowth got the voice and was actually able to communicate with the people around it.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason that may be. Now we actually have Pikachu with the mic and he's allowed to talk. And the voice of Ryan Reynolds is the one perpetuating his voice.
In my opinion, Ryan Reynolds is the selling point for the movie.
Yeah.
He really is. If Ryan
Reynolds
having a
personality like that for Ryan Reynolds,
or somebody like, you know, with Ryan
best.
Reynolds, if it wasn't for Ryan Reynolds or someone of Ryan Reynolds' caliber or popularity, this movie would
gone the other way.
fucking would bomb. No
Exactly.
one would care.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as Ryan Reynolds starts speaking as Pikachu,
Yeah.
everyone wets themselves and was like, "Holy shit, this is amazing!"
Yeah, like I cared very, very little for it because I'm not huge into the Pokemon franchise, even though I'm named after one of the major villains of the franchise.
The head of Team Rocket.
Yeah, and
But,
I wasn't in the mood to care really. And then finally, I sat down and I'm like, okay, let's look up one fact about it. And I'm like, Ryan Reynolds is playing Pikachu, and I'm like, okay, we got that.
But you have to remember, like, you know, Ryan Reynolds
You have
is
my
an amazing
attention.
guy.
Yeah.
He does amazing work. Deadpool was phenomenal, but you
Yeah.
also have to remember, he was in pretty shitty stuff, too.
Oh, he's doing very bad
Fucking
things.
Wolverine Origin? Green,
That some people liked, but I'm still with you on that.
yeah,
I didn't
Green
like it very
Lantern was a nightmare, in my opinion.
much. It was.
Ryan Reynolds made it funny, but at the end, it wasn't enough to save the movie.
Yeah, but it
So,
was.
you know,
it was a
he's been
nightmare and
part
more than
of-
just yours.
He has been a part of some things that, in my opinion, and probably in the opinion of some others, have tanked.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why it's like I don't want. I hope people aren't riding their hopes on this movie solely because of Ryan Reynolds. He can do so much. He can only do so much.
Yeah, that's not my opinion at all.
know,
I'm kind of looking forward to a good murder mystery. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it'll actually make people think more than not at all.
But that's what also throws me out. It's a murder mystery.
It's finding out what
Pokemon?
happened to his dad, like
But, like-
murder or kidnapping or whatever. Finding out what happened to his dad. That's the mystery, really.
Yeah.
So that's the draw for me more than just Ryan Reynolds. But so I can't really speak for everybody, but I speak for myself when I say that I'm looking forward to the mystery part of Detective Pikachu.
Like I said before, you know, and I'll say it again, I'll go in with an open mind, but so far I just think it's a very baffling concept. I feel like it's a weird concept to put for Pokemon.
Yeah, well, in a world without Deadpool, I feel like it wouldn't have gone over as well. If that's fair to say. Because in let's say we didn't get Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool in either Wolverine's Origins or the actual 2 Deadpool movies that we did get.
Right.
In a world without those, Ryan Reynolds would still be kind of in an obscure sort of
Twilight Zone
B to C list limbo.
Yeah.
I feel. And he has the charisma because he would have had the charisma to do this otherwise. You know, in that scenario, I feel like he would be able to. He'd still be just as capable as he is right now of driving this. But I feel like without it, it wouldn't have had the draw that it does now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I feel like
it doesn't have.
It
wouldn't have
the
had
only
push.
thing that is getting people interested in the movie is the fact that Ryan Reynolds is voicing Pikachu.
Yeah, it's a huge draw.
I feel like that is the main draw.
It's a massive.
It's not about
draw.
Pokemon. It's not about the murder mystery. It's not about Justice Smith.
Yeah.
Which I'm really nervous to see because I don't know.
He looks like he's just gonna be like.
He looks very timid.
Yeah, he's not gonna really have. He's gonna have no teeth. Really, yeah. I feel like he's gonna have very little. He's gonna mostly be there for kind of comic to.
He's the punching bag.
He's
going to be the punching bag for Ryan Reynolds.
He's the sidekick for Ryan Reynolds,
Exactly.
who's the adorable, fluffy one that's going to be getting all of the attention.
Exactly.
And he's going to be, you know, getting shoved a little bit to the side, maybe. But I feel like he's going to do a better job than some other co-stars could have done.
Yeah.
Like who would you have put in that star to co-star role? Like in that partnership with a detective.
Well, that's it. The
Pikachu,
concept
Ryan
itself
Reynolds.
is so weird. I can't think of anybody at the top.
I can only think of maybe one other person, and it would probably end up being somebody with like a little more like star power under their belt. You know, like maybe even a girl. I would have chosen like a female co-star for him.
That could have worked.
Yeah, I would have chosen maybe Chloe Moretz. There we go.
Moretz.
Yeah, I would probably pick Chloe Moretz because she's maturing. She can do it.
Probably.
I could totally see her doing it.
Yeah. Well,
definitely.
I can see a few people doing it, but like I said, at the end of the day, the concept is so.
It's odd. It's very bizarre.
So
it's super bizarre.
There's no really any particular strength. I guess at the end of the day,
Yeah.
someone who would have a good dynamic with Ryan.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they met on set though, and they get along fine.
Oh, yeah, no.
because
Yeah.
Ryan's a good-hearted guy like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just, anyway.
He's not going to be super egotistical
I mean, I'm
and
gonna
taking
go
all
see
the
the movie.
spotlight from him, but he's gonna. Hopefully, he gives him a good chance to kind of spread his wings, and if he does have good acting chops, the kid's gonna show him. So we're gonna get a good look at that when that comes out. We can go see it. You want to go see that with me?
No,
I'd love to
I'll
go see it.
that. I'm going to go see it.
Yeah, but you want to go see it with me?
Yeah, I'll go see it with you.
Because I'm definitely want to go see
We'll
it,
call
and
it
I
a
would
date.
not mind going
It's
to
gonna
see
be
it
a
with
date.
you.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
it's gonna be a bro date.
Yeah.
Bro date times.
All right.
Fist bump.
Fist bump.
What's next? What we got here? You want to talk about history with comic books, because we were getting on that huge tangent earlier.
You know, history with comic books is going to be a very short one because I have absolutely no history with comic books whatsoever.
You don't like comics much.
I don't know. I've never been a big fan of the comics.
Yeah, but you know about them.
I
You
know
of
about them, but I don't. I've never read any comics really.
Because you mentioned that you like to read before.
I like to read novels, not comics.
Yeah. So
Like I have a fucking novel on my. I can't take it up because there's a cup on it.
it's fine. Don't touch it. Don't touch it, man.
But you know, it's like I read novels.
Yeah, he reads mostly like the Warcraft or Warhammer novels.
That's not true.
But you do read a lot of those, and the
I-
Star Wars novels as
I
well.
lean towards fantasy and sci-fi fantasy, yes.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't exclusively. I don't have any Warcraft books.
You had a Warcraft.
I don't
book,
have
right?
any Warcraft books. I wish I did. I want to get.
Sure,
I want to
go
get
see you with
Arthas.
one at least.
I want to get Arthas and have that because I like that book.
Okay.
But
because
no, my main series. No, my main series are the Dritz series. Dritz to Durden, Erden, and R.A.
Dritz to Durden.
Salvatore. R.A. Salvatore, basically.
Okay, yeah.
That guy is the author. That's the most expansive series I currently own.
Yeah, and I read pretty much everything from ghost stories from Joe Hill to like, you know, the older obscure kind of like self-help books and stuff from like the
Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yeah, I'll read anything basically. But comic book wise, I gravitated mainly towards those back when I was in my childhood years to late teens. And yeah, I kind of fell off the boat a little bit on those because I had this realization where I'm not so big into reading them right now because I'm trying to write my own, and I feel like the disassociation is what I really need from being the reader to being the creative one.
That's fair.
To being the writer. Yeah, because in my mind, I kind of see it as, I'm kind of just letting you guys into just like sort of showing you guys a little window to my creative mind here, my creative process on my own comic book idea, which is going along at a pretty steady rate now, along with my YouTube channel that you guys are on, hopefully, right now. But
wow.
Yeah.
That sounded so fucking petty.
It's...
Please, guys, please, give me...
Well, because if they're listening to this, they're on my channel.
I need some attention, please.
But so my vision of the creative process is kind of just taking little Gio, who used to read the comic books, and kind of putting him in the back seat and letting him just kind of be the observer to the creative process of older Gio. It's like older Gio is just being author and illustrator for this comic that I'm giving to younger Gio, kind of.
And younger Gio is like basically the judge of whether or not your content is actually good.
Seeing it through the eyes of a child is kind of one of the better, like, easier ways that I could interpret my process right now, because it is all about me being, cut off from, other stories that are going on, because I don't want to be entirely inspired or even kind of like manipulated. I don't want to be manipulated. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't want to be manipulated by modern comics. I want to kind of...
No, you don't want to be influenced.
Influenced also.
Influence is what you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't want to be influenced also.
I understand that a lot, actually, because I've been writing a book, and it's hard, especially because if you're reading... You end up, when you're trying to make something from scratch, let's say you've never written, you never created, you've never done anything like that before, you're doing it for the first time, it's very easy to fall into the styles of other authors, especially, if I'm an avid reader of a certain author, I'm going to end up falling into their style, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, but you're going to start using vocabulary and falling into the grammar styles or the idiosyncrasies of these other authors.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing.
It's not exactly a bad thing, but it's a personal choice for me.
Right, but at the end of the day, all of these first-time creators, they all strive for one thing, and then that is to create something unique. Mm-hmm. Create something that is theirs, that they created, to call their own, and to share with others.
You want to be able to show what you can do.
Exactly. So that's why it's kind of like, yes, you want to take inspiration from your favorite authors, from your favorite illustrators, from whomever your, whatever line, career or creation you're trying to do, but you don't want to copy them.
Yeah.
You don't want to blatantly look up and say, oh, well, he, did it in this format, with this font, with this, style of vocabulary, So if I want to be successful, I have to do it like that.
Yeah, because in my mind there is a fine line between homage and plagiarism.
Exactly, yeah.
And I feel like if I am just straight up grabbing ideas from other authors and kind of writing styles and even like story moments, it's gonna come off as heavy-handed if I just shove them, like shoehorn them right into my project.
Yeah.
Because even if I do it in my own way, I feel like I am kind of robbing someone of their emotional attachment to whatever story or characterization that I am thrusting into my project, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of have that separation. Because I feel like that's when the most when you are deprived, I feel, of all other stimuli. Yeah. That's when you really get the most realistic and most in your face versions of yourself. That's when I can really interface with my own creations and my own processes and my own personality. And kind of get what I need from that. Ask myself, what do I want in this situation? What does this character need? What would I do in this kind of situation? What would anyone do in this situation? What someone of this age would do when they're put into this into this place, like when they're being thrown into this, because that's when you really get the most real, vital reactions. Yeah, and someone's gonna catch on to that and feel it. So that's what really catches me. My history of comics goes way back though. Like, I started with Spider-Man mainly. Then I went from Spider-Man to the Hulk, and then from the Hulk to Daredevil, and I went from Daredevil to like Moon Knight, and I went Moon Knight to Deadpool, and then Deadpool to the Punisher, and then Punisher to blah blah blah. It goes on and on and on and on and on. I'm a huge Marvel fanboy, and it's going to be completely obvious when I get into our next topic, which is going to be the death of Stan Lee.
Oh.
He passed away November 12th. It's been a good 8 days now. He's been gone.
Oh, I don't remember when exactly he died.
It was the 12th.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was on Tuesday last week.
No, it was a good man.
Yeah.
So like I said though, I've never really gotten into the comics, so I didn't really get to see his work per se. The only relation I've had to Stan Lee in terms of his work has been the Marvel movies. Which is kind of sad, and I bet you a lot of comic people are going, ugh, Of course, fucking movie normie only watches the movie. Well, you know, that's just the end of the day.
That's just your
it.
experience with it.
That's
exactly.
my experience, and I still can't. I can still look up and say Stan Lee was a marvelous guy. He led to the creation of these movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the fact of the matter is, everyone, no one can dispute this. Everyone only went to go watch the movies for his cameos. That's it. That's all they did.
and coming from someone that didn't like all of the Marvel movies, I wasn't really entirely interested in Thor when it came out. I was barely on the boat for Black Panther.
You didn't like Thor? Natalie Portman, though.
Yeah, and when I went back to watch it recently, I just kind of I sat down and watched it. I was like, okay, Natalie Portman though, but also that girl from Two Broke Girls, that one girl from Two Broke Girls. I'm like, but that though, and then I kind of went. But we got a good interpretation of Thor, and we have a good backdrop with the way everything looks in Asgard and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. And then we got all of the other ones, where I was huge. I was like big time on board.
Whoever whoever was in charge of casting needs far more than they actually get.
Yeah, I was big time on board with Deadpool and Stan Lee being a cameo in that.
Oh yes,
in the first one, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be fine. Like, this is gonna be a great time. I can finally rest easy knowing that the Deadpool movie will not be ruined, because at the very least we will have a cameo from Stan Lee.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that aside from the fact that I was happy about Ryan Reynolds and some of his other co-stars and stuff in that, and the appearance of Colossus, I was happy with.
But the sad part about all this is I heard that towards the end of his life, or maybe longer, I honestly don't know. Apparently, he was getting he was really getting abused. Not physically abused. I think people were abusing him for his fortune, abusing him for stuff like that.
That's a big thing that a lot of people are going to be wanting, him to clarify who's getting what, because the guy was.
Not in terms of will or anything like that. Like
he was egging him on to spend his money on.
I don't know the full details. Things. All I heard was that he was getting abused towards the end of his life.
I'm gonna take a look.
Which kind of sucks, because this is a great man. He doesn't deserve to get shit on. It just
medical emergency showed up days earlier. Lee revealed to the public that he had been battling pneumonia.
Stanley granted restraining order after elder abuse claims.
I think he was ready to go.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
He's still talking about doing more cameos as long as he had the energy for it. And he didn't have to travel. Stan was always up to do more cameos. He had to get kicked out of. Yeah, I know. He get kicked out of
well, anyway,
more than anything.
Regardless.
Kick out of him more than kick out of doing those. Yeah. But yeah, he was being abused. You say?
Yeah.
Like, was everybody like money hungry? Were they all out for
I don't know.
the cash?
I don't know what the circumstances are. I think it was just those basically closest to him, some close people, just kind of messing around with him.
Okay.
And I said, that's not fair, man. That's you don't like, not just Stan Lee, but like anyone who's up in those in that age.
Regardless of how rich or how famous they are, they're still people, and they still have the right to do what they want with their fortune, what they will,
That's fucking
and with their lives, what they will, You can't be trying to get into everybody's head and trying to push them to be doing this thing or that thing before they die.
Yeah.
They need to make their own choices on these things. He need to have his own decisions. I'm pretty sure in the end, he was telling those people no if he wanted them not to be doing if he disapproved of anything that they were suggesting to him, I am almost guaranteed that Stan was a strong enough guy to look them dead in the eye and say no.
Well, that's what I hope for. I'm hoping these rumors were just that, rumors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
I'm just saying, like, if he was
just the thought of someone like Stan Lee getting bullied at the end of his life, he doesn't deserve that shit.
Definitely
he's brought
not.
joy to so many people.
He's
Leave
brought
the fucker
hope
alone.
more than almost any other people have.
I don't need that.
He's brought hope to so many kids, and he's brought he's brought courage and strength, to the industry.
But you know what?
Had the strength to challenge even the Comic Book Code Authority on so many things, on their prehistoric rules that they had back in the 50s.
Yeah.
Like in '58, they had the most ridiculous laws, and he confronted them on those. So I am without a shadow of a doubt, able to say that he was strong enough to smack down any kind of,
I hope that's
threat.
the case because you know what? At the end of the day, I think it was 95 years old.
Demands. Yep.
95 years old. He passed away. I don't know how he passed away, but he did. And you know what? I think he fulfilled a lot in his life.
He did.
And everyone should just be really thankful. Mm-hmm. And send him a prayer or whatever it is you guys want to do.
Yeah.
Because that was a great man we lost.
Yeah, and support.
But he did a lot, and I think he should be proud going into the afterlife or whatever there is after.
I'm sure he is, and support his company also, because honestly, his estate, the people that are handling things on his behalf after the fact, they're doing a good job, standing up to people that are belittling his legacy, and
that's not right.
Honestly, there's this one story honestly that I'm going to talk about after this. Like, let's touch on it right now. Actually, this guy Bill Maher. He's
what a faggot.
Bill Maher.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. No, you have the entire right. Bill Maher. Honestly, guys, stop being such a faggot. Because what he says, his words, okay, his words. He's literally telling people, that he was just literally responsible for them, for all of these kids just literally going up and buying a movie ticket, above all else, they weren't inspired to, follow their dreams or love their lives or spend time with the people that they needed to be with, and show the world what they can do. No. They're just cash cows. They're just literally getting milked out for every dollar that they got, right? That's all that he's got for this old man who toiled in the mines of creativity, who crawled through all of these horrible restrictions and had the chokehold of the man. Of
the man.
Because the Comic Book Authority, if we'll look back, if you want, go look right now at what the Comic Book Authority's rules were back in the 50s. Because honestly, some of those are...
I can imagine.
A lot of those are ridiculous.
Just
one of them, just one of them that I can think that comes to mind right now is the fact that no criminal could be portrayed in a positive light. Criminals had no morality. Basically, they were not human. They were not to be consoled with. They were not to be, treated as equals. No, they're monsters.
Villains.
They're villains. Exactly.
They're horrible people.
They are meant to be punished. They're thought to be put down. They're not human. They're subhuman, basically. Which ties, I guess, into the fear of other, and the racial tensions back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, among other things, Stan Lee was tackling these things.
Yep.
He fought for that right to be able to stick up for whoever the person may be. Criminal, either guilty or innocent. Proven guilty, especially. They're still people. You know,
Yeah.
they still have the right to their own opinions. You know,
Yeah.
and they just and among other things should be tackled. You know, these envelopes should be pushed,
Yeah.
and that's what he did. So
I think
Bill Maher, I'm gonna quote him actually, like direct quote. Okay, you say what you gotta say though first.
no, go for it. I want to hear it.
Okay, direct quote from him.
From who?
From Bill.
From Bill Maher. Okay.
From Bill Maher, direct quote. I'm gonna go down to it. Hang on, because I have it over here.
I never liked the guy anyway.
Yeah, honestly, he's.
No, but to be honest, I'm
being
really
nuts
not
on this
pleased with a
case.
lot of like talk show hosts these days.
Here it is. I got it.
Or whatever he does.
The guy who created Spider-Man and the Hulk has died, and America is in mourning, deep, deep mourning, for a man who inspired millions to, I don't know, watch a movie. I guess. Direct quote.
What a fucking.
He criticizes him. He
But-
not only criticizes.
You know what?
He takes the man's legacy and he throws it in the dirt. He just belittles everything that he did, and it's sickening.
No, but you know what? I cannot put the blame on Bill Maher alone. He's not the only one, and you see it around the globe. You know, just recently in the EU, they basically banned. This is a gross generalization, but they basically banned memes in a way.
Yeah, I remember that.
bill that passed recently.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It basically restricts them to, you know, in regards to the internet even further.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you know, people can word this way better than I can. Do your research, you know. We say things with our opinions, but, you know, do your research, figure out what these things are, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We're citing just things from past experience, you know.
Everything with
But
a
from
grain
what
of
I
salt.
remember, yeah,
everything
it is.
with a grain of salt.
From what I remember, though, it is
but-
like a huge shackle on on the freedom of
on the memes.
international, like internet freedom, you know.
Yeah, but you know what? It relates.
right to
It's
free
all the
speech.
same. It all relates. It's the fact that these people, politicians, the media, you know, just big honchos, they don't seem to understand certain cultures. And I don't mean
they're
I don't mean
completely
like race.
culturally
I mean
blind
like
sometimes.
comic book culture, video game culture. They don't understand.
Completely
these communities.
insensitive.
They do not understand these communities.
The masses.
And they don't understand what these communities want. They fear the unknown,
Mm-hmm.
and so in order to combat the unknown and make everyone, you know, stand in line, behave,
Mm-hmm.
they restrict these communities in regards to the things that they enjoy.
More than
So, like, you know, Bill Maher clearly does not understand the impact
Yeah.
that Stanley and others like him have had on kids and teenagers and even adults with the stuff that they created. So it's not just movies.
Yeah,
It's
it's more than
experiences.
just yeah.
It's something for communities to come together, talk about, enjoy, and you know, it's not something like, yes, to other people like Bill Maher, I guess, maybe he just doesn't understand that.
It's more than just
But-
xenophobic culture and sensitivity. It's more than just that, because it is just the opinion of the older kind of like the old kind of like not understanding the draw of the youth, you know. It goes further than that, but that has a lot to do with it also, because this guy had no idea what was going on in the comic book world, really. He's younger than Stan was.
Of course he is.
Like, he's much younger than Stan, and he sees it still from a middle-aged guy.
It's the fact that these people wait with their snide, stupid, inappropriate comments, or maybe there's another way to word that.
Their 2 cents.
Until the person in question has passed. And it's not even that long after they pass that they finally
waiting
look up
to
and say,
smack them
"Oh,
down.
well, no one give this and this and whatever." You know, what the fuck, man?
Because they're not gonna be around to defend themselves or kind of show you up and tell you what it was like in their day, you know, to fight for these things, you know, and kind of create things in their own way. Stan's not going to be able to show up, and I doubt even Jack Kirby's going to... Well, if Jack Kirby, if any of his friends, Jack Kirby would probably show up and tell him, look, you should shut up because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You have no idea what it's like for these kids.
Did Stan Lee state, like,
And they did. They told him that he was being insensitive. They told him, hang on, I have some of the stuff that they were talking about.
Mayer said something else too.
Yeah.
Now, I have nothing against comic books. I read them now and then when I was a kid, and I was all out of Hardy Boys. What?
Yeah, the Hardy Boys novels.
But the assumption everyone had back then, both the adults and the kids, was that comics were for kids. And when you grew up, you moved on to big boy books without the pictures.
But that's another thing.
And why do they automatically do a political reference as well? Yeah, Mayer concluded the. We'll link this. We'll link this article in the
yeah, this is going in our sources. But he's belittling the art form in such a way that he's like, he's taking away from anybody above 10. You know, he's belittling their IQ. He's showing them that they're not creative enough to do.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt because I just finished reading the last two paragraphs of this article. It says, Mayer concluded the post with a reflection on Donald Trump's presidential election.
Oh yeah, this is the worst fucking part.
Once again, questioning the intelligence of adults who enjoy reading comic books.
Yeah,
the problem is, this is a quote from Mayer. Mm-hmm. The problem is we're using our smarts on stupid stuff, he wrote. I don't think it's a huge stretch to suggest that Donald Trump could only get elected in a country that thinks comic books are important. And first of all, multiple points on that. First of all, why does everything have to get turned into a political reference? Secondly,
because in his mind that's the only way that could be rationalized.
If a president reads comic books, and three, why is he shit-talking adults who like comic books? You have to realize that people, especially the comic book fans, they grew up, like you, they grew up with Stan Lee. They grew up from the 50s and up with comic books. Mm. Why should we suddenly look up at the age of 25 or 30 or whenever is considered the adult age?
Yeah, like it needs to be cut off. Yeah,
drop
exactly.
all of that.
Like it needs to be derooted.
That's the stupidest things. That's what's going to lead to more rapists and murderers on the street.
Yeah, but my problem, even more than just the fact that this is going to take a toll on the general populace and their moral beliefs, and even their political beliefs. Yeah. More than just that. The fact that it got turned into a political thing is a problem in itself.
Yeah, I'd be thrilled to know that.
If Trudeau...
It's
like, oh, you guys think that comic books are important? Why don't we just elect Stan Lee as the president, huh? How would you guys like that? Huh? I bet you'd love that. Like, I bet you guys wouldn't be able to know a good president unless Stan Lee fucking stepped up and wanted to become president, I bet you would love it if just we elected Captain America as president, and have a fictional president in the White House. Like, is that the only way you guys are going to be turned on to politics? Fuck off!
Their personal preferences are fucking irrelevant to the job.
Yeah.
Donald Trump likes comic books. I don't give
No,
a
it's
fuck.
not. It's not talking about Donald Trump.
Yes, it is.
Comics.
That's
it's about,
exactly what it says.
No, it's about the general populace liking comics and the fact that they are like only in that kind of climate would they elect Trump as their president.
Yeah. I'm misinterpreting.
Like only in he's basically saying only in a culture this stupid would Donald Trump become president. Like, that's not why he got turned... Okay, that's probably not the only reason that it was, but I love comics. I didn't vote for him. I wouldn't want to fucking vote for him.
Well, you can't. You're Canadian. You're fucking making.
Yeah, but even if I did live in our little head that the hat is on, I still would not want to elect Donald as a fucking president. I wouldn't want him
Well,
to
like-
lead. I wouldn't trust him to fucking butter my toast in the morning, let alone fucking lead a country. Like, fuck
That's
that.
completely irrelevant to the fact, like, why...
Because everything has to get political with him. If it's not a political debate...
Yeah, but it's not just him. People like Stephen Colbert, he does it too. That's all he does. Ever since he took over from David Letterman for the late night show, or whatever the fuck the show's called now, I don't remember.
Because he's
know,
a political satirist. That's why.
Well, no, but, you know, it's like that's what they're all doing now.
Yeah,
Every single one of them
This guy is not a
are
political
mocking,
satirist.
they're mocking pop culture.
Yeah, this
They're
is a
mocking-
political satire.
They're mocking everything.
They're
and-
mocking a culture and their way of life.
It's either a joke against pop culture or a joke against Donald Trump.
Mm.
That's all their content is today.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like,
Because-
I go on, like, and it's
Because it
fucking
gets
ridiculous.
them heat. That's why. Because he's catching heat for this now.
Of course.
And he's getting clicks, and he's getting sent letters after letters after letters, and honestly, I doubt he even cares, because you know what,
No, he
his
doesn't.
opinion is just literally, this guy drew pictures, he's fucking lame. Like that's his takeaway from all this. That's your take on a man who literally taught a lot of kids how to read and understand media in general. Not even just
not even
taking
so much
on
that. It's
not even just taking on a culture.
I wouldn't say he was a
and an art
literary
form.
god. He was just he inspired a lot of kids. He helped a lot of kids get.
He
through
inspired
it.
people.
Comics help, not just comics, video games, movies. They help people, not just because of whatever the content of the movies or the comic books are.
No, taught
It's
people
because
morals.
It gave people an out during the troubled times. Bullied. I was bullied in high school. In elementary and a little bit in high school, and you were too.
And it gives us
you know,
a mode to kind of express ourselves, you know, and it gives us some sort of it gives us courage to kind of keep going, and it also kind of gives us something to input ourselves into. Because I could turn to the person next to me and be like, what do you consider a good hero's motivations to be? You know, what would you consider your type of hero to be?
I just want to kind of clear something up.
Because everyone has a hero in themselves.
I'm not saying that video games and movies and stuff are a way to escape reality, which in a way they are.
But everything kind of is
help,
nowadays.
They help.
If you're being interfaced by anything, it's an escape from reality.
But you know, it was a way for people to connect. It really was. Like, you're in elementary school, you get bullied, you go home. Your mom just got you a Nintendo 64. I'm talking more in the 90s now.
Oh, I definitely know about that.
But, you know, your mom just got you a Nintendo 64.
64.
So you go to school the next day, and you overhear some kid talking about how he's just got, I don't know, Mario 64 or
and that's my experience with Star Fox. But it's more than just that. It's a medium, and it teaches as well as it does, you know, strengthen the person. Yeah. You know?
And it brings those like-minded individuals.
Yeah, there's a reason these kids grew up with these things. And it's not only because they learned from it, but it's because they were passionate about it, and they were passionate about the characters, and they related to these people.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter why someone got... Everyone has a reason why they got into
why. Exactly.
Everyone has a reason. It helped, maybe one kid it helped with bullying. One kid it was a fun thing to do.
But
one
the fact
kid
that they have reason.
To make friends.
The fact that they have
a reason. It is, whatever it is, it helped countless individuals.
Yeah, because someone's comic books could be the next person's, you know, love for bowling or figure skating or fucking poker. You know, it's their way to express themselves, and it's an outlet. It's something they can devote their time to and enjoy and learn something from and get a take out of, you know? Because someone that reads Captain America can easily also love football or fall in love with the sport of football and devote themselves to that, you know? And they could excel in sports just as well as they could excel at collecting an entire series.
I gave an extreme
of whatever it is.
Yeah, I gave an extreme example earlier. saying how, so you're restricting these communities and the content that these communities enjoy. So that's going to lead to more violence, to more crime, to more to rapists, to murders. That's extreme
because it attacks the moral fiber.
But in a way, it's true because, comic books and movies and stuff help some people subtly. Sometimes, for example, video games help people drastically. It's also a vent. It's an aggression outlet.
Mm-hmm.
You go and you go play Call of Duty. You go play whatever. You may sound like you're an aggressive person, but you're venting. You had a shitty
That's also
day
a very
in school.
commercial thing. And a lot of people are just literally devoted to the cultural practice of spend money on blank to get blank.
I don't know.
to vent because of blank. Or to have an outlet for blank.
But you know what I mean? It's
a cop-out, kind of.
These things have so many different benefits for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to generalize and basically shit talk the people who
an
enjoy
entire
these
population.
things. Because you could be shit talking someone who's been bullied their entire life. You're basically shit talking someone who's struggled with maybe a career path, and maybe this has given them an inspiration for a new one. You're struggling with someone who could have vented their aggression in a horrible way, as opposed to just doing what they enjoy.
Yeah, you never hear about this shit with horror movie fanatics, really, even because horror movie fanatics will line up to fucking go see the next Halloween. Or the next Nightmare on Elm Street, or the next whatever the fuck horror franchise, the next Thing movie, and they're lining up. They're going to see this thing that people wrote and acted in, and that they care about, because they want to witness, whatever it is, the special effects or the dialogue
factor,
or the thrill, and you never down talk them, do you? You never talk about how visceral and gory that is. It's like, no, they're literally just fans of a franchise. It's a cult following, and they like it. It makes them feel comfortable. It gives them reason to continue.
Yeah.
It gives them something to be motivated by and be like, oh yeah, that was fun, or oh yeah, that was trash, or the other ones were better, or this one's the best one. It gives them something to talk about and bond on.
Yeah, we wouldn't shit talk it.
Yeah, if you're sitting down with your dad watching football and you get along with football, because of football, that's something you guys have in common.
Yeah,
that's something you can bond on.
Listen,
why talk shit about comic book fans?
To finalize our point, Bill Mayer is an asshole.
Yeah, he's a massive asshole.
Rest in peace, Stan Lee.
Yes, that's the topic.
I think
we're gonna rest there on that.
But you know what? I think for a first episode, I'm pretty sure now. I think everyone has can hopefully kind of understand.
Oh yeah, you're entirely open to your own opinions, and you can agree with Bill or Stan's estate on these opinions. You could agree with me or Derek on these also, or you could side on the Trump side, which is literally just believe everybody's just a money pig, just a piggy bank running around, and should just be taken for everything that they're worth. Fucking believe whatever the hell you want to believe. But I didn't
really understand that last one, but sure.
No, because Bill's entire argument is literally these thoughtless fucking automatons don't know what the fuck they're doing. And all they know how to do is spend money on their cultural practice.
So not only did he shit talk Stan Lee, not only did he shit talk Stan Lee's
entire legacy
and legacy, he also shit talked every Trump supporter. These guys really just don't think, do they?
Yeah,
they really don't think. They literally do it for the attention. They are literally.
When in reality, he's the type of guy that I see voting for somebody like Trump. Because he just wants to see the fucking.
He voted for someone like Hillary.
The shittiest.
It is what it is.
No, he wants.
Personally,
I believe this guy wants to see the shittiest things happen to the world.
Personally, I don't like to get political because I have my political opinions. Gio has his political opinions. I think it's fair to say that we have completely opposite political opinions. But with that
we
being
have,
said,
we have our differences.
you
to
know,
say the least.
I don't enjoy debating so much. I don't enjoy doing any of that. But when it involves things that I personally love, like, for example, video games, movies, comic books, etc., that's where, you know, that's where I think anyone would draw the line.
For me, it's more than just the medium. I don't care about the media aspect of it. I care about the fact that he is literally taking the mental states of, you know, the generic so-called comic book fan and making them the cause and the effect of the current political climate of his
he's
country.
Basically looking up and saying that,
blaming them.
He's basically looking up and
for
saying,
everything bad going on.
Yeah, from what I can understand, he's basically looking up at comic
and
people. He's saying whoever, you know, is actually making a big deal out of Stan Lee's death is also responsible for putting Trump into office. Like,
yeah,
that's fucking ridiculous.
And the fact that Stan Lee is dead is just a pebble.
He's literally just grasping for straws. Like, you know, he's just trying to. Any chance these people, not just Bill Maher, but, you know, similar people like Stephen Colbert, like I said earlier, they're just looking for any reason to shit talk Trump, the administration, whatever their, you know, whatever controversial group or topic.
Whatever bad thing is happening, they are the cause of it.
Yeah. Anyway.
And honestly, I want to move past. I'm going to move on to easier going topic. I wanted to talk about some lights in the sky that we're seeing over Toronto, near the Yonge and the Shepherd areas. I'm gonna show Derek this clip, and we'll be right back. So I think it's aliens.
So you think it's aliens?
No, I don't think it's actually aliens. I'm a big conspiracy theorist. I do like the thoughts of aliens, like the concept of alien beings visiting us, more than I think it's an actual possibility.
Yeah.
I think it's just a good concept, really. But the video from what we saw, what do you think that is? You think it's a drone? Because I think it's a drone.
I think
CTV News thinks it's a drone.
As much as I detest having to side with any form of media outlet these days, I'd probably just agree and say it's just a drone. And
it probably is
a drone or a helicopter, or maybe not a helicopter, but you know, something along those lines. Yeah, something along those lines. You know, some guys just flying it around.
Yeah, because it looks pretty high up. Honestly, it looks like even too high up. I'd say for a drone, like unless someone launched it off of their like fucking.
Hey, if it's aliens,
like
we can all. If it's aliens, we can all at least, you know, rest easy knowing that there won't be a chance for us to do World War III because we'll be too either.
We'll be already wiped out by the aliens.
Wiped out by the aliens, exactly.
But I feel like only if somebody launched it off of like their 20-story, you know, apartment building or something.
Which it was.
Well, it looks really high up there.
Plenty of high buildings around. They probably snuck up to the roof of one.
Maybe, but like it's really high up there, and I doubt a small little quadcopter.
I'm sorry, but if it's an alien, why is it going to have a single light?
It had two.
It had two?
It had two lights. It had two lights, and I think two blinking ones. It looked like it might have been even in the shape of like a triangle, like it might have been like a floating like a
plane,
like maybe a hovering jet or something. It looked like it had like two sets of wings, kind of in a triangular form.
Dang, and so it could have just been a plane.
Maybe, but then again, it's very unlikely a plane would be stationary, kind of in that sort of position, and it is very stable. It looks like it's hovering.
It's the Shield plane from Agents of Shield,
or the Blackbird from X-Men.
There you go.
It actually does kind of look like the Blackbird from X-Men, which makes me think that it might be a fighter jet that's just kind of hovering.
It could be,
or it's something a bit more sinister. But
maybe not necessarily the military, but someone's testing.
But these lights in the sky have been going on for years and years and years. Like. Even back in the day, man, in the 40s, like they were getting pictures of lights in the skies and stuff.
Of course.
And like we can bring even up the site of the Battle of Los Angeles.
It's a popular activity to just fucking go ahead and
you see these lights in the sky.
It's to garner the story. It's for the story. It's for the excitement.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
It's for a lot of. It's mostly fake, and I think it's either a drone.
I think there's a
plane.
realistic. I think there's an actual realistic like explanation for it. I feel like anything that we see kind of in the skies or like in day-to-day life that's unexplainable, I feel like it can be explained.
It can
somehow.
be explained. Like I agree with you. I am one of those people who is adamant saying there are definitely other living beings in the universe.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And eventually, probably not in our lifetimes, probably not in our children's lifetimes, but you never know. Mm-hmm. We will eventually, if we don't kill ourselves,
if the entire world doesn't implode on itself in the next 10 years,
if we don't, if we end up killing ourselves through pollution or whatnot, we'll probably encounter them.
We'll find ways of explaining.
Either we're going to find them or they're going to find us. Eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to happen.
Because I've had experiences also in slightly paranormal or unexplainable phenomena.
It has nothing to do with paranormal.
Possible paranormal phenomena.
It's all scientific. Look, we live on a planet that is abundant with life. It grew this way.
Yep, our tiny little world.
We evolved this way. Why, in this vast universe, there must be thousands of other planets that are equally as viable for life.
Oh, and there are.
What is there to say that there can't be actual sentient life on those planets?
Yeah, coming to check on us.
Maybe we all started at the same time. Maybe we're humans here. Maybe there's whatever fucking on another planet, and they're at the same evolutionary stage.
The Nordic reptilian Mafuba.
Yeah, well, the reptiles have already invaded. We know that already.
Oh yeah,
they're among us.
They've been around us for a while.
But it's impossible for me to fathom that in this vast universe we can possibly have been the only evolved sentient form of life.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's got to be something else, and if there's not, at the very least, it's life in some form.
There has to be further evolutionized spider people somewhere in the universe, and I hope the archeoloids come and visit us one day. But yeah, we're gonna digress a little bit from that one. Talk a little bit about. Let's talk about the North California fires. Because this has been going on for several days now.
You talk about, explanations, for anything, like you said earlier. The sky is an explanation for everything.
You want to talk about tragedy? This is tragedy.
This is campfire.
This is more than campfire.
I know it started as a campfire.
There's several speculation on what could have started it. One of the explanations.
Everyone's saying campfire.
One of them is also General Electric from the California area.
Well, regardless of the reason, that's just fucked up, man.
Yeah,
I saw a video. There's a video some
Pacific
guy
General Electric.
There's a video some guy put on YouTube, probably taken down by now because it clearly, he's there's like 4 cars at an intersection of some sort, completely burnt out, and it's just all charred bodies in every other car, and apparently he knew some of them.
The facts are that we've gotten at least 50 dead. Numbers closing in on
more.
I think
77.
100.
Last I heard this morning, 77.
I checked actually recently. Now the bodies are up to about 100, like 94 or 95 dead.
Yeah,
confirmed, and about 1,000 missing. Yeah, 1,000 plus missing, and it's harsh. Honestly, this is the type of thing that happens in Mother Nature. You'll have little things just sort of spark out of control, and then the next thing you know, an entire population is just wiped out. An entire area that's supposed to be like just living calmly.
79. Death toll climbs to 79.
Yeah, and then I found one recently.
This is 3 hours ago.
Yeah,
79 and 699 missing.
More evacuations lifted out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still getting really high up there though. Yeah, at least 80.
At least,
dead.
well, yeah, 79, 80.
Yeah, a lot of people have been dead. A lot of people missing, and it's probably just because people are just trying to run for their fucking lives.
They are,
and it's
the roads
sad
are
to
getting
think
blocked.
that their houses are gone and their roadways are being sectioned off, and people aren't finding the help that they need sometimes. Running frantically away from this disaster.
They get stuck. That's just what happens. They try to escape. There's burning trees, felled trees in the road.
Yeah.
Other burnt out cars now blocking the road because they got stuck.
Entire homes on the celebrity side of things. Miley Cyrus's home was destroyed. Miley and Billy Ray, I think, their home was gone.
Are they okay?
They're
house
probably
was
fine. Yeah, I think
I
think they're fine, but they evacuated.
No loss there.
Yeah. I'd say it's a moot point, but we've got Neil Young. Neil Young's home was destroyed. He's been dead for a while, but still the family, the estate must have been paying out the ass for insurance purposes in that case.
Well, most of those people have insurance, so I mean.
Yeah, I know. Then we got stars like Robin Thicke, Gerard Butler, Lady Gaga, Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell lost his house?
Yeah. Simon Cowell lost it.
I'm sorry.
And it is absolutely dreadful.
Absolutely dreadful.
It is absolutely dreadful.
We're making light of this situation.
But yeah, I am kind of sad about
these
the fact
kind of
that
things,
Simon's house is gone.
I'm not sad.
I can't be.
Listen,
no, but I can't
that
be.
Stuff
I can't be too sad about it. But I am kind of broken up about it because I've been in a house fire before.
And
it sucks.
Listen, but you know what? At the end of the day,
mm-hmm.
I'm not the one who said this, but if you can't laugh at tragedy,
then you might as well just give up.
Exactly. Right? At the end of the day, we're laughing at the fact that Miley Cyrus and Simon Cowell lost.
Yeah, we're getting a chuckle
over
all of this.
It's because it's a house. It's a material thing. Yes, it's a big blow.
It's replaceable, and these people are celebrities. They have people they can rely on.
That's not.
They have people that they know.
That's not fair to assume because.
But it is true. They more than likely have people to fall back on.
But that's just assuming.
We because they didn't get as far as they did without having people to rely on.
No, celebrities show us what they want us to see. No one knows what's going on behind closed doors. For all we know, they could be financially struggling.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that's why I'm not saying that they have money to fall back on. I'm saying they have people to fall back on.
They have people to fall back on. Yeah.
Financially, be damned. Fuck financial. Financial stability. Financial stability doesn't save you. When the banks collapse.
But you know what?
When your bank account.
But that's my point. Is that all these people, not just the celebrities, but the Californians in general, they've lost their homes, and it's a real tragedy. But at the end of the day, they are lucky.
Yeah, and as long as they have people that will look after them and feed them and keep them sheltered for a time, because people have lives. People. Yeah, exactly.
And people are going to get pissed at me saying,
and that's what's important.
No, people are going to get pissed at me because I'm going to look up and say, well, at least they survived. But they're going to get pissed at me saying, oh, well, that's nice and dandy they survived, but they lost everything. So you know what? Yeah, that's true. It's going to be a struggle to get back what they had, if they can get it back at all. But they fucking live.
Yeah.
I got into
that's what matters.
I was in a car crash not too long ago in October.
Yeah.
And the front of my car was totaled.
Your entire car was totaled, basically.
Well, yeah, the car was totaled, but the front, half the front was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And we got hit by a van. I was told, I forgot by who, but someone told me that if we had been at least 2-3 feet forward, I either would have been severely injured or possibly dead.
Yeah. And those kind of things put everything into perspective.
So you know what? Yes, it sucks. I lost my car. Mm-hmm. These people lost their homes and their cars probably.
Yeah.
Or depending on if
Gerard's car was torched. Still, I saw a picture of him standing in front of him.
They lived. And yes, it will be a struggle, if not a nigh impossible task, to get back what they lost. but at least they have the opportunity to go through those struggles. They have the opportunity to get back what they lost.
Up.
You know, I'm sure the government won't just sit around saying you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, this is a national catastrophe.
Yeah,
you know?
and if they have any semblance of remorse, they will help out the victims, regardless of fame or fortune.
You know, because what are you going to do? It's a huge fire.
Yeah.
It's a fire that's spreading throughout.
And it's something that California is used to by now.
Yeah, well...
It's something that's been going on for years.
I don't think they've had one on this scale.
No, but they've had others
they have these
to various degrees. Yes. And this is a major one.
Yeah.
But it's a serious thing that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. But you know what? I wish all of them luck. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, say I'm gonna pray for them, because in my opinion that doesn't do them any favors.
It doesn't. It does kind of. It does.
You know, I will say I will.
It's good to know people are thinking about them.
Yeah, I will say good luck, and I wish them the best. And I personally hope everything does work out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you know what? There are those who did survive.
Yeah.
And now they have that opportunity to move forward. And those who lost their lives, well, then my condolences to the family.
Yeah.
You know, there's not much else I can say or do about that.
Yeah, exactly. And to the lost, may they be found. And I've been in this situation before. I've been through a house fire. Almost my entire house was gone. Basically, half of my house was burnt to ashes, and I had to renovate the entire thing.
Yeah,
in the span of a summer, basically, and I had to move out of there. I had to move into a small hotel, basically, for a couple of months, and I had to make do. Me and my dad, we struggled, you know.
Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, they're gonna struggle too, but hopefully they don't have to. And I'm gonna speak from personal experience here. Them coming back is what they need to do, and me going through that, it made me stronger. So hopefully them coming back in all of this, they're going to be stronger because of it also. Yeah. And because these tragedies, you know, they put everything into perspective sometimes.
Somebody didn't listen to Smokey the Bear, man.
Yeah.
Fucking
Pacific G&E didn't listen to Smokey the Bear's warnings. They didn't watch those power lines.
Well, anyway, you know,
that was
I think,
that's another thing.
You know, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a big problem with these places in drastic environments, and you know, sometimes these things are going to happen.
Anyway,
and they're going to sort themselves out probably. People will reach out.
You know what? To end this on a happy topic.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you want to talk about? Because I know what I want to talk about.
8.1 patch 8.1 for World of Warcraft is coming out.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the frostbitten landscapes of World of Warcraft.
Because before we started recording, he was setting up for the
yeah, I was doing my audio checks,
and I'm just sitting here next to him on my computer playing World of Warcraft, running ICC 25-man heroic, because I'm still grinding for the Lich King mount, and it's so sad. It's just so sad because, you know, I don't know, it's just sad, really. That
it's a sad landscape.
It is. I don't think Giovanni. I don't think he ever saw that before. So you know, he's just all he's hearing is these. Especially when I started fighting. I'm hoping the audience.
Rodface.
Rodface, yeah.
Rodface's voice is the best thing I've heard in months.
Professor Putricide, I think, is that area.
Oh yeah, Professor Farnsworth.
Oh yeah, the Professor Farnsworth wannabe. Yes,
he was good.
Good
I enjoyed
news, everyone. I think I've perfected the plague that will kill all life in Azeroth.
Okay, speaking of TV shows, this is gonna be the last and final topic for this episode. What? I'm gonna end it off after this. I want to talk about Netflix anime adaptations. Because everybody knows the meme of Netflix anime adaptations.
Listen, I don't think any type of anime
Adaptation,
whatever, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think they're all horrible, and I don't think the anime should be ever adapted into anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my personal opinion. If they're going to adapt into anything, let the creators of the anime adapt it as they see fit into a movie, into whatever the fuck they want. But it's like, it's an anime. It's meant to be animated.
Sometimes it's just straight up manga that they adaptate. Well, adapt.
I'm just royally concerned for The Witcher. For
yeah.
Video game adaptations in general too.
Well, those have had a worse rap, I feel, than anime adaptations or manga adaptations. Rather.
But now they got the Netflix one, and the guy who played Superman.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
What, the recent Superman?
Yeah, the recent Superman. He's playing Geralt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's
well, that's gonna be a weird one.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a beard.
Oh no!
I'm rolling off Witcher 3 Geralt, man.
Oh no!
Anyway, so I just feel like, with a very rare few exceptions, any type of adaptation of an anime or a video game is going to end in tears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't always have that speculation on things, because I don't know. Henry Cavill has finesse. He has acting chops. He can do it.
Yes, but it's like sometimes you just they do their best, but then the fans roll in.
Yeah,
and then they're like, oh god,
and Witcher fans can be especially brutal.
But no, it's the worst part is the rumors going in. They're saying like, Triss or fuck, I forgot the other one. What's the other one's name?
I'm not sure. I'm not a huge
Triss
Witcher
or
fan.
the other female is going to be played by a black person.
Okay.
And obviously that's got quite a few people.
I don't mind. I'm all for, honestly, as long as it makes somewhat sense and the actor is capable. The actor portraying them as capable.
If you're going to adapt something,
I'm perfectly fine with race swaps. Because honestly, it doesn't really matter. What really bothers me is in the case of like Starfire in the
well, that's what I mean.
Movie.
You look at
that was an awful
same
decision.
But that's the same thing. You fucking look at Witcher 3. It's set in like what was this, like in like a Slavic setting, I think it is.
Okay. And
it's like Triss and these people are I think Triss. I'm hoping I'm getting the right person for this. I'm going to get a lot of flack.
Well, if you want to look it up,
yeah, I'm going to look it up.
Go for it.
Sadly, I only played Witcher.
Dude, go ahead, because I'm looking up my own thing here. I'm looking up the Witcher. The Witcher on my own.
I'm going to get fucking shit on. Yeah, Triss is the redhead.
Yeah,
it's a redhead, right? And to have her be played by a black person, while it's not like necessarily a bad thing, you're looking for authenticity. These video game people are trusting that this movie will be loyal to the story and the characters.
I'm sure it's gonna do its justice to the source material, but at the same time, it's gonna be doing its own thing, like the other other Netflix adaptations have done in the past.
And they failed.
It's not at all. Not at all. Okay.
Okay. Which ones have succeeded?
Okay. Recently, I watched the Bleach adaptation. Okay.
Bleach adaptation?
Yeah, they did one not too long ago.
And how did that go?
It went all right. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it personally. Being a fan of Bleach back in high school, I enjoyed it. Okay. I haven't watched the series since.
I'm not. Okay. I need to clarify. No, I'm not saying that it's going to make the adaptations bad if they end up doing a race swap. For X character.
Yeah, I understand.
It's whether or not it's going to stay. What's the word I'm looking for? It's going to stay loyal. Like, I don't know. You know what? It's actually really difficult to explain without sounding like a basically a racist.
No, you're not coming. Okay, you're not coming off as racist as you possibly could. Okay, because it could have gone a way different. Because me saying that I don't agree with the Starfire change is already kind of me coming off as semi-racist.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day,
when I mean it in no way, shape, or form.
Starfire is, from what I've seen, technically orange.
Yeah.
How, in my opinion, for something like that, it can go either way.
Yeah.
But
it's like making Superman black. Like, if Superman was black, do you seriously think fans wouldn't get mad about that?
Fans would
be pissed.
They would.
Fans would be fucking pissed.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's the same concept. You have fans, and lots of fans.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, The Witcher it started as a book.
Yeah.
And then it got turned into a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they got the rights and they
yeah,
made a game.
It's fine. And it had other things that were basically the same
about
thing
Witcher,
written before.
When you ask someone who knows about Witcher, it's like, what do you associate more with? Just with Witcher, it's different for every other scenario, but just for Witcher, say which would you prefer? You know, the adaptation to be loyal to the book, or the adaptation to be loyal to the video game?
People are gonna say the book, more than likely, probably. I would say the book.
I don't. Think
I
so.
would say the book.
In terms of The Witcher, they'd rather be loyal to the video game, because I find the video game did the book a lot more justice than the book did for itself. And plus that little author outrage that he had not too long ago, where I think he was asking for more money.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, so that didn't please people at all.
It's unbecoming.
Look, he just pulled up a picture of.
Yeah, I've got a picture of Geralt right here, being played by Henry Cavill.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a beard. Like, I think he's going to be a good. He's going to do the character justice.
I think he looks like Christophe Lambert playing Raiden. Doesn't he look like Christophe Lambert playing Raiden?
A little bit, yeah.
Look at this.
Oh my god!
Look at this side by side. Look at this shit side by side right now.
He's a younger version of him, yeah.
Like, look at this shit side by side. Wait,
but now he just needs a beard. That's all he needs. He needs to get
right there. Just look at that. No, I think even the little 5 o'clock shadow he's got over there is like so little that he could pass as Christophe Lambert. Like, for real. He looks exactly like Raiden.
Oh man.
But
I think he'll do good as
he'll do a good job. He'll do a good job.
I just hope that whatever actors they choose, whether they be, white or black or whatever the fuck it is, that they do their characters justice.
I don't care what creed. I honestly don't care what creed they are,
but
as long as they do a good job.
No matter how good they do,
that's my opinion.
You're going to have the people who get pissed off.
Oh, people are going to shit on it.
Yes.
Viciously.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, at the very least, as long as people just go in with an open mind, take it with a grain of salt,
Yeah.
It's not fucking butchering your franchise.
It's not going to be the book.
It's not going to be the game. It's not going to be the
third media now.
Yeah, it's not going to be
the movie.
The video. It's not going to be the game. It's not going to
be.
That's
not a movie.
Book.
It's a fucking.
Is it going to be a show? It's a show.
I don't know if it's a show.
It's probably going to be a show.
I think it's a show. I don't know much about
it. If it's a Netflix adaptation, it's probably going to be the show.
We're very good at talking about subjects that we actually know jack shit about.
I know, right? But
and we seem to be arguing about things that we
haven't even gotten to the actual to the meat of this question, because we're going around Netflix adaptations when I said anime adaptations.
Listen, man, I'm more familiar.
No, you listen, bro, because I wanted to talk about anime versions. But this Witcher one will probably be fine. I don't see how they're going to do that bad of a thing, because it can't be possibly as bad as Death Note was, because Death Note was the real poison one. Like, that one was vile.
That was pretty bad.
That was the most awful adaptation.
I think we can all agree, though, that the best adaptation period of
I've seen in years
was the Mario Brothers. I mean, come on, it's just...
That was years before anything Netflix related.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's the best adaptation period.
Apparently, I think they're gonna do a new. They're gonna do some new things with other video game franchise also though. I heard that they're gonna do some other video games. I'm not sure which though. Let me see.
I think we should just stop doing adaptations.
No, I feel like they have merit. I feel like they have merit sometimes.
The only reason to be making adaptations is for comedic purposes at this point.
You think so?
Yeah, it's just for,
I don't
treat
think
them
that's
more as parody than anything at this point.
I honestly don't think that's the case. I feel like it's a bit more than that. I think it's showing that, people. It's bringing the microphone to people that haven't really had the chance to express their feelings on certain media. Especially anime doesn't really get the publicity that it should.
Right.
It gets changed a lot in people's minds because people don't really understand, especially non-anime fans don't exactly understand the draw behind anime. Mm-hmm. And anybody that hasn't seen the anime,
what's the draw? What's the draw to anime in your opinion?
Okay, in my opinion, I'm a big fan of strange stories.
Okay.
Like obscene, bizarre stories.
Right.
Like things that you cannot understand. You can't grasp right away going in. Mm-hmm. And then when you take some time with it, you start to understand why and how everything's happening, and then you start to gain an appreciation for the motive behind like the happenings. You start to see the engine, and then you're like, oh, let's take that engine and let's kind of apply it to other things. Like it's one of the big reasons I love JoJo.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the major reasons I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because you show someone just an episode of JoJo out of context, and they're like, "This is the most fucking bizarre thing in the world. Yeah, this is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen." And they don't understand why everything's happening, or how everything's happening, or who it's happening to, even until you spend a bit more time with it, and then you start to understand. Oh, okay, yeah, this came from this, and now we have this thing, and now this thing is doing this. X does this because of Y, and Y is doing this to X because of Z.
Yeah.
And you get the equation, and then you start to apply the equation to other things, Like that's why I find JoJo references so funny, because you could literally just take the equation of JoJo and apply it to almost anything, and it makes just as much sense most times. And even more sense even sometimes. It's a funny little game to see sometimes for me.
If you had to choose an anime, and okay, let's say no. Let me word it like this: if there was someone who's never watched an anime before,
never watched an anime,
not one, doesn't even know about anime.
Okay,
right?
If I had to suggest
an anime,
and you had
to choose one as his entry, his gateway into anime-hood.
I've done this before.
What anime would you choose?
Honestly, I gave somebody a couple episodes of Bleach and they liked it.
So like a big like shonen like kind of anime.
Well, no, because you can't entirely sit them down with a whole shonen and tell them to watch it front to back, because that's not always going to happen.
I think that's one of the easiest things to get someone like.
I feel like doing it with like Naruto or One Piece is like the big poison pill.
I watch One Piece.
Yeah, but if you get someone into One Piece as their first one, like, man, that's
no, you gotta get them in the 4Kids dub.
Oh no!
Like with the water pistols and the lollipop with Sanji.
Oh no!
Fucking ridiculous.
But I would. I've sat people down with an episode of Bleach before, and they liked it. They enjoyed it. Other people really like One Punch Man, because One Punch Man's a super simple thing to follow along
with. It makes fun.
Death Note is a major one that people get subscribed.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's an easy way out, because honestly, if somebody likes murder mystery and thrillers and stuff,
yeah,
9 times out of 10 they're gonna love Death Note.
Yeah.
And to me personally, Death Note was one of the first ones that I watched. I forget which exactly it was. I think it was Dragon Ball back in the day.
But for me, it was.
I think I started out watching Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon.
It was. Oh no! If we're going that far back, then yeah, it was definitely.
Well, yeah, of course we're talking about anime in general. Sailor Moon's gonna get dropped in.
It was with my sister. It'd be like Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball.
Sailor Moon.
Digimon,
Sailor Moon,
Digimon,
yeah.
Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon. This is gold. This is gold. I love it.
Oh, yeah, the fucking cat made one. I don't know what it's called.
Oh man, like
Beyblade was popular. Like
yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah, Beyblade. Yeah, Beyblade. You know.
But
there.
I personally, my favorite anime. Anybody that knows me knows it. But I love High School of the Dead.
Yes.
I love High School of the Dead.
You
Seiko
is your laptop background.
Seiko. I have Seiko as my
Psycho. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Psycho the Psycho.
Psycho. Yeah, she kind of is crazy, but that's why I love her. But Seiko is my favorite character in High School of the Dead, and High School of the Dead is my favorite anime. And if I had to choose one for a Netflix adaptation, that would be super easy, I feel, for them to do. Mm-hmm. It would be High School of the Dead. Especially because only only season 1 is out.
Right.
Of the anime.
Right.
And I doubt it's ever going to get a sequel.
I
doubt they're going to follow up.
Not in today's climate.
Not with the way that Japan got hit with the tsunami and the climate going on over there in the anime
industry.
Industry. Yeah. It's not going to happen. So if Netflix picked it up and just did their own adaptation of it, I feel like it would be better. I feel even because they'd be able to kind of take the story and then continue it on. You know,
what for high school?
Yeah,
High School of the Dead.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? Because you got shows like The Walking Dead. Because you got shows like The Walking Dead, though.
No, you can't do a Netflix adaptation of High School of the Dead.
Why couldn't?
Because there's no one on this God's green earth that has tits that big.
They don't have to.
They will not find that many girls with those big tits.
Oh, we can look around Tittyland, Derek. I'm sure we'll find someone.
Oh yeah, sure. You fucking put a balloon.
Hey, and at the very least, Derek, it'll be a fun adventure trying to find one.
Yeah. Fuck.
So, I would love to see if they wanted to try to do a High School of the Dead, because if they did a High School of the Dead, I feel like
I would like them to try to recreate that sniper shot.
Yeah, they would do it. It'd probably be first episode or second episode. It'd be done, and it'd be
CGI
done.
Just fucking
yeah.
Lord Jesus.
I can guarantee even if they did a movie, even if they did one movie, they could get it done in like 20 minutes.
In terms of anime, I prefer something a lot more serious.
Yeah, but High School of the Dead has serious moments in it.
Berserk was a good one.
Oh God, Berserk would be. I feel like Berserk would be butchered. I feel like Berserk would literally be the worst one to try to do.
Claymore's an interesting one.
That would be very interesting to see. I would actually love to see a Claymore adaptation.
And I don't remember. I can't think of. There's not. I don't think that it's hard to do serious adaptations of anime, because then it's like the real life look.
Yeah, the fact that it's a meme right now, and the fact that the fact that everybody's joking about Netflix adaptations of anime, it takes away from any credibility of them being, serious. And I don't think they should entirely be serious. Like, even the Death Note anime would have gotten fucking stale if it was all entirely serious.
Right.
Like, if it wasn't taken as a lighthearted adaptation, it wouldn't have gone over like half as well as it did, and it didn't go over very well in general. So yeah, it would be kind of a problem.
How about this? Let's end off with this. Let's say, let's be a typical YouTuber. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, so what's your favorite anime? Go ahead and link it down below in the comments.
Yeah, give us a like when you're done with that.
Like and subscribe, hit the bell button. Oh, fuck that shit.
But we already know how bad the Dragon Ball movie was. And honestly, I've seen it, so I can comment on it all day. But we all know how bad that turned out, and it was awful. And so far, I'd say three or four, adaptations of the Netflix, variety have done it badly. Mm. And if they continue on with this trend, it's just going to turn out to be, you know, don't. It's gonna be the taboo back in the day before comic book movies were the best. You know,
Right.
nobody wanted to do comic book movies before Iron Man, basically, because they didn't sell well. You know, quote like basically, you know, cite the Punisher, the Dolph Lundgren one, Captain America, Nick Fury, Fantastic Four, so on and so forth. You know, it's going to become that, and if it does become that, I feel like Netflix is going to run into several problems. Not really financially, but credibility wise, people are going to really start not believing in the projects that they're backing, and then start to slowly but surely pull back. You know. And honestly, the way that Death Note worked out, that first time, you know, the best part of it was having, you know, Ryuk be played by Willem Dafoe. And the fact that they nailed that was fine. They were listening to the fans up till that point.
Right.
And then everything after that was just no. Cringe.
Mine.
No, cringe. No, cringe.
Mine.
Mine. And it just was mind-blowingly awful. And I would love to just... I would love for them to just stop with the anime adaptations for a little bit. Maybe focus on their Marvel stuff, because that's been doing better.
Marvel movies?
No, their Marvel franchise stuff with Luke Cage.
Oh, no, they're done. Luke Cage is done.
Yeah, I know, but focus on those kind of IPs, you know.
No, I don't want to focus on
because they were supposed to do Moon Knight. They were supposed to do. They're gonna do another season of Punisher, and they did the third part of Daredevil now.
Mm-hmm.
So if they focused on those, I feel like they know their stuff when it comes to the comic book one. But manga and Netflix versions, I don't know. There's one anime that I haven't seen yet. I forget what it's called. It's Kurugami or something. I'm gonna go to Netflix actually right now so I can see what it's called. But yeah, it's like a Kurugami or something. It's about a bunch of kids in a poker school, I think.
Oh shit! No, I think I started watching that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's creepy.
I'm gonna find it.
It's so disturbing, but so funny. I think you missed it.
Yeah, I just passed by. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, no, it's
Kagagori.
It's so weird. It's a school revolves around gambling kind of thing.
Yeah, and they did a live action version, and I still haven't watched either.
I didn't watch the live action. I've only been watching the anime.
The live action apparently came out
it's so it's just so messed up.
A couple of months after they made the Netflix anime version, they did a live action right away.
Yeah.
Because it was just a manga, I think, before.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wish they did that a bit more often. You know, they took a manga and then just literally do an anime and then do a live action. You know?
Yeah.
Do both. Why not do both? Because if you've got the cast for the anime, then you can easily just go and do, you know, a live action with the same people.
Right.
You know? Or not have them, you know, play them in live action, but have them voice act for the characters. Because that's what they kind of did for Bleach. When you watch Bleach in Japanese, it's the actual actors speaking, of course. But when in the English one, I think some of the actors were voice acted by their English counterparts from the show.
Okay.
It at least sounds like it. They sound exactly like them. So even if they just took, you know, the voice actors from the shows and had them voice dub over them, I feel like it would be okay. Because honestly, if they did that semi with Bleach, you know, and I still haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist yet. There's a couple others I haven't seen too.
You just haven't lived.
What if I haven't watched the Full Metal Alchemist adaptation?
Oh, it's an adaptation.
Yeah, because they had a Full Metal Alchemist.
I didn't even realize.
Because I've seen Brotherhood. I've seen all of Brotherhood.
I was concerned for.
I know. I just haven't watched
there's some anime out there
the Full Metal Alchemist
so
movie yet.
It's just like staples of the thing. You just have to watch it.
Yeah, but I've heard good things about the Full Metal Alchemist adaptation. Also, I heard that they did a good job on it, and the effects, from what I can see, look good.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can't really complain about the effects in Bleach much, because they were fine in their own right, and I feel like if they had maybe another shot doing the next season and stuff, it would be a bit more interesting, because they wouldn't just be fighting Hollows, they'd be fighting Arankar and a couple of the other deeper down villains. You know, maybe you can get the fight with Aizen or Genichimaru, some really big name characters, because we just get Renji and we get the brother there. Fuck, I forget his name.
I'm proud of you.
Okay, I remembered Renji's name, alright? That's already fucking big props for that.
Sounds good.
But, yeah, I'm gonna get this guy's name, and then, yeah, we're basically gonna call it after that.
So let me go take the opportunity here. You know, let's make this a little.
What would be your suggestion for an anime adaptation?
That's the question I was about to pose.
Yeah, what would be yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
As an adaptation, something where my only rule for an adaptation is so long as the wardrobe of the anime is not out of this fucking world.
Yeah.
Then it could work as an adaptation. If it's like more of a realistic, like for example the category or whatever you were saying,
yeah,
that kind of works because it's basically it's a school setting. Yes, the anime has a lot of exaggerations in terms of like facial expressions and like some actions.
Yeah,
but it could work as an adaptation because it's basically just a school setting with gambling.
Yeah, it's some things obviously are easier to do than
One Piece,
than others.
Bleach and stuff. That's a lot harder to do. So
Mm-hmm.
you have the costuming, and then you have like the exaggerated actions and dialogue.
Yeah,
you have
the one I'm thinking of is
special effects.
Yeah, the one that I was thinking of before was Byakuya. We got to fight with Byakuya a little bit in the Bleach movie.
Yeah,
but yeah, continue.
So, if I had to pick an anime,
Mm-hmm.
Something short and something slice of life, probably.
Were you thinking Fruits Baskets?
Oh, fuck, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of slice of life, but I feel like those ones would make the easiest adaptations.
Oh, of course, but they would also go over, I think, the hardest, because
make a Berserk.
Okay, I'm gonna join you on that, but first I'm gonna say that
Helsing, make a Helsing.
I'm gonna join you on that also.
Helsing
but let me
not the one that they actually have on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I know.
Fuck, throw that out the window.
But
that was good though.
I'm gonna hunker down on the part that you mentioned, like the slice of life part, because slice of life they could easily do, but then it would also be the harshest to criticism, I feel. Because people would be defending their waifus and their husbandos even harder than they would if they were just done, say, done like more to the T. I feel like they would like fight them harder than anybody else's, like any other shonen character. Because it's all dialogue, it's all characteristics, it's all in the way that they interact with each other. So if they did them badly, the backlash would be even harder.
Yeah.
And I'm going to join you now on the Helsing and Berserk part, because Helsing and Berserk can be summed up in the exact same in the same kind of like segment, and that is me saying, how vicious are we getting? How gory are we going, and how deep is it gonna go? Because if we're talking whole 9 yards, brutal gore and decapitations and entrails flying everywhere, and mature subject matter, the likes of which, has only been seen in the manga / anime adaptations.
Yeah.
And just completely unadulterated.
Yeah.
Like no holding back. Just full on, you know, give it the complete R-rated treatment, I feel like it'll be fine.
For sure.
But also at the same time, you know, people are going to be looking at Netflix and being like, "Oh, you guys are fucking nasty."
Yeah, man.
like they're going to be giving looks to like, okay, there, Netflix, step away from the edge a little bit, there, guys. Because honestly, them coming out tomorrow and saying like, we're gonna do Berserk, like there's gonna be a Berserk adaptation. People are gonna be wanting to know who's playing them.
That's the main concern for everything, though.
And also,
who's playing
what part of the story are they doing? Like, are they going to be doing the Golden Age? Are they going to be doing everything basically from the anime, like post Femto?
Right.
Are they doing all that?
I don't know.
Like, what time are we, like, what segment are we focusing on? Because if I would want any of them, I would want post Femto.
Fair enough.
That's what I would want to see on screen.
And with that being
said, yeah, we're gonna call it an episode.
I think that was that was a roller coaster.
Yeah,
for sure. We had a lot of heated moments, and we had a lot of tried to have a lot of funny moments.
It's definitely something that we got to put our input on and our own little spin on things. Because honestly, if you keep looking at the world through sunglasses, not even through a blindfold, some days, you're not gonna get the best input out of it.
Sure.
You're gonna get your own negatives and your own just brutal criticisms in mind. But it's good to bounce these things off of somebody else. And I'm glad that you were able to join me for this one.
Thank you, yourself.
Thank you, Drek. How you, Drek?
Fuck you.
I love you, body boy.
Get out.
Thank you.
No, I thank you very much for letting me come on this first episode.
You're very welcome, sir.
And I guess I can extend this to whatever audience you garner. And
the strangest of all audiences.
What are your opinions on on Stan Lee and Bill Mayer? What were your influences growing up in terms of comics and video games? And
yeah, seriously, if you guys have
what Netflix adaptation of an anime/video game would you like to see?
Yeah,
you have so many different questions to pose here.
If there was anything that you wanted, from the comic book world or the anime world to be, adapted Netflix style, what would it be? And also, if you have any other topics or suggestions for the podcast, feel free to let us know in the comment section. And
we will go to Boku no Pico. I have no shame.
I will go and look at it again.
Again. See how that's dedication.
Yeah, exactly. I am willing to venture back there. And you know what? That's somewhere Netflix will never go.
No, I hope not.
They would never.
I'd rather not see it live because that's basically just...
Because the next step is the fate of Casca. And then we go down a whole other rabbit hole. So I'm going to call it quits on this episode. Thank you guys for watching this. It is now 4:55. We started at about 2 in the afternoon, so we've been at this for a while now. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode.
Thank you to our sponsors from...
oh
yeah, I forgot. You're a fucking nobody. You don't have sponsors.
I don't have no sponsors. I sponsor my own self.
If anyone would like to sponsor us, I'd be greatly appreciated because I had to do this for free.
I'm
joking.
If Netflix wants to sponsor us, I only have one thing that I would like in return.
Our payment is to make Berserk into an adaptation.
Mine is please, oh please, above all else, make your own version of Perfect Blue, because I want to see that movie done Netflix style. I want to see some weird trippy visuals from that, man. I want to see who's going to play the characters. And
that being said, all right.
And that's gonna be the end of the first episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope your world isn't too small.
That's such a cheesy fucking ending.
Fuck off. That means you guys too. Bye.